Hey guys, today my husband's going to show how he unclogs a sink drain. He's done this a few times for our sweet neighbor, and they work together as a team to accomplish this task. I was curious how they did it and thought it may help someone if I showed it on our channel, so I went over and filmed the process. I hope it helps you out.
So the first thing I did was disconnect the pop-up. As you can see there, you have to do that before you can disassemble the trap. And for those of you may not know, the trap is the white pipe that you see there. But you can't disconnect all of that without taking the pop off apart. And you also can't get the stopper out without doing that as well. So I did that first, and then you just have to loosen each of the compression nuts on the trap. I don't do this a lot. I only do it like maybe once or twice a year. So sometimes you might, because I'm not a plumber and not doing it all the time, I may not twist it the right way, so it takes me a bit of time sometimes to get it apart. But I meant to say before it started that if you're squeamish at all, you may not want to watch this because it's a little bit nasty. Over a period of time, women's hair can get clogged up in there pretty good, along with the products and whatnot that they may use for things like makeup or makeup removal or night cream, whatever it might be. So anyway, the idea is just to take all of the to get the trap off so you can get all of that cleaned out. What you'll see in a little while is that this is our neighbor's sink actually, and she'll clean all of that real good. And what I will do is I will clean the drain, which is the silver pipe you see there coming down from the extension from the sink there. So one thing to mention that I didn't say before is make sure you got that pan under there, because you probably saw when I took it apart that water poured out. So anyway, jumping forward there, you can see I was able to pull the stopper out because I removed that first piece that I was speaking of, the pop-up that was in the bottom. So, and here's a little trick to clean the drain. You can just take your paper towel and kind of, I guess, maybe take like 4 paper towels. You can use something else, a towel or something if you want, and then just kind of make it so that it's tight, and you can push it far enough to where you can grab it on the other end and then just pull it through. And that actually cleans it pretty good. You'll see here, you can see right through there. Maybe not, but you can see right through there. And here's the all of the pieces that I pulled off, and she's gonna clean it. And you can see it again. It's pretty nasty. But she, you can be as meticulous as you want to be here, but I think, you only do this once or twice a year, so you may as well go on and get it cleaned out good. You can see it's pretty gunky in there, and then that's so the reason why we did this was because her sinks started backing up, of course, and water would stand in her sinks. There are products that you can get to try and break some of this stuff up, but there's no way like the old-fashioned way of just taking it apart and cleaning it good. So again, you can see she's going to get it all really cleaned up real good here, and that way when we put it back in there, she should be all set for hopefully 6 months to a year. So if you have some little tubs like she's using there, or bowls, like I said earlier, this is a little bit nasty. So if you got something like this and you don't have to use your sink or whatever to do this, that's good. Not many people will have this thing looking as spotless as she does, but she really likes to take good care of her things, and that way they'll last her a long time. And you can see here she's pretty meticulous. One of the many things we love about her. So here we go. We're gonna put it back in, and this part is pretty easy. You just the first thing you do is you put the the wall, the pipe that goes into the wall in, and you really just kind of start sliding it in there and you would just kind of have to kind of estimate. You push it back into that wall pipe as much as you can, and you just loosely, you'll see in a minute, I'll loosely screw the nut on there so that it's not so tight that I can't adjust the distance that the pipe is coming out from the wall, because when I go to put the I don't know if you call it the P-trap part or whatever, J or whatever you want to call it, when you'll see when I go to put that on there, that until you attach it to the drain pipe coming down, you really don't know how far that pipe coming out of the wall needs to be, and you'll see in a minute that I have to make some slight adjustments to it. So basically what I'll do is I did the same thing on that one, on that nut. I loosened it. I put it on there but loose. That's lined up pretty good. And again, once you get it all on there, then you can kind of make some slight adjustments till you got it perfectly lined up. And that actually worked out pretty good. So you'll see I'll hand tighten them. You don't want to put any kind of heavy vice grips on this or anything. They're compression nuts with the sleeves, the little compression sleeves on there, so they tighten down and put a good seal on. I put a pretty good grip on it when I tighten it down with my hands, but like I said, not something you don't need any kind of tool or anything that might cause it to break or damage. So yeah, that part is honestly pretty easy. The toughest part is always when you go to put this stopper back on, and here you'll see I'm just for the heck of it, this is the first time Cathy has seen me do this or watched me do this, so I'm just kind of explaining to her how it works and how it lines up, and how it's, you push the little knob down to make the stopper go up, and it's all because of the way the pop-up mechanism works. Just kind of explaining to her and why I'm doing it the way I'm doing and how I know how to line up the stopper. So but you'll see here in a minute, this is really the trickiest part, honestly, and just making sure once you have it in there that it's working properly, like that it'll stop up the sink like you want it to, and then when you push the knob down, that it'll let the water go through. So you can see here, same thing, basically just doing the opposite of what I've already done. Cool thing about all this, you don't have to turn the water off or anything like that, because you're not running the water or whatever, so this is not a project where you got to worry about making a mess or flooding or anything like that. But you can see I've got it in there lined up, and then I just have to make some adjustments to it, and you will have to adjust it even still, like how tight you put the nut on there, or you can see that pop-up has some different holes or slots where you can make adjustments. So here I just take and tighten it down a little bit, and I think I did a few more adjustments to it even after this video, but pretty much, other than just loosening that thing up and maybe adjusting the height a little bit, that's it. I mean, that's all it is to it. So if your sink is clogging and you feel like you need to make it stop clogging, or you feel like you need to clean it out, and hopefully this is a video that shows you that you can do it yourself pretty easy. And this one sink, literally with the cleaning and everything, 30 minutes tops. So it might take you, if it's your first time doing it, it might take you a little bit longer, but yeah, 30 minutes, nothing to it.